Alright, welcome to exercise 3, configuring advanced DHCP settings. We're going hardcore now. We're going deep, like deep into configuration. So this is the scenario. Each department in the company has its staff computers connected to a separate physical network. So different subnets. And we're hiring a number of people, lots of staff coming in. The staff members want to use, or they have to use, they're forced to use, a desktop where the DHCP server is giving it IP address. There's already a DHCP server, but the IT department's current scope is not enough. It doesn't have enough addresses. So we want to extend it. To facilitate for this to happen, we need to create another scope, then combined the current configured scope. So we still have the two scopes, okay? We're going to combine them together into a super scope. Let's check this out. So we're going to have a look at what the current scope is now for the IT department. We'll create a new scope, and then we're going to create a super scope. So say for example you've got limited subnets and you cannot make that subnet bigger. It's not possible, but you can create another scope. But you want it to continue on, so then so you've got the two scopes, but they become the one super scope. Something else that's really common, especially in mergers or at universities, it happens quite a lot too because there's a lot of students. So let's go back into DC1 over here. We're in there. So I've got my normal scope. I've got my Hawthorne scope there. And I still have our scope over in Sarawak. But what we're going to do is we're going to create a new scope. So right click over IP version 4, a new scope, and we're going to call it IT for the IT department. We'll start at 192.168.0.50 IP, the address is 192.168.0.100, and that's fine with the subnet mask. Click on next. Do I want to create a super scope? It's asking, should I create a super scope? At the moment, I'm just double checking here. The address range you specified is too big. So I don't think I've done this right. Yeah, so I've made a little bit of a mistake there. I thought that was a bit strange. It's in the one range. So did you notice that it saw me going to another network? Instead of 0, instead of 1, and said, do I want a super scope? Well, not yet. Later we do. So I'm going to do that next, and we'll just next everything. And we're not going to activate it. Default gateway, yep, we do want that one. Now, my advice is when you do configurations like this in Active Directory or DHCP, don't activate it, because when you activate it, it works straight away. You might not want to activate it. You just want to have a look at it first before you activate it. No, I will activate the scope later. Next, perfect. We'll go to next. So there we go. So we've got it. It's got the down arrow button, means it's not active. What we're going to do now is we're going to create a scope for a new IT department. So that's the scope that we have now. We want a new scope for new IT. So we've got a scope for current IT members. We're going to hire a lot more now. And when they come on board, then we're going to create that super scope. So right click, new scope, next, we'll call it IT extended. Next, and we'll go to 192.168.1.1. Sorry, hang on a sec. 192.168.1.50. Everything default except the default router. Yep, we want to do that as 192.168.1.1. Then go to next. Perfect. Perfect. And we do not want to activate it just yet. Great. So everything's going smooth now. Everything's good. But now we want to create the super scope. And all you have to do is right click here, new super scope. Next, we'll call it IT combined. Next, we'll select IT and extended, so control, then click on IT extended. Then we'll go to next and finish. So now we've got a super scope happening. Alright, so now what we'll do is we'll go over to DC1. We're going to create a user, it looks like. So let's go over to DC1. Oh, we're already here. Good. We're going to create a user class named Special Project. All right, I'm just going to pause this for 1 second, just double checking this activity here. Okay, so looking at the actual lab guide, for those who have it, wasn't really clear on how they want us to set this up. So I'll show you how to do this. So we'll right click IP version 4 up here, and we will then select define user classes. We will then click on add. I'm going to add one. We'll call it Special Project, and we'll give it a description. We'll leave it as the default for the ID. Click OK. Then we'll. Oh, it looks like we have to put something in here. I think we have to type something in ASCII there. Well, I think we have to do something like Special Project. It's forcing us to put some value there. Okay, that's good. Bit annoying, but should be good. Okay, I'm just double checking now. Okay, good. Now what we'll need to do is we can close that or add, I believe. We can close that now. Then we assign our client to the Special Project class. So we need to get that MAC address. I've already got it in a previous exercise. That's the MAC address. You just go back and do ipconfig/all, and you'll have the physical address for that client. I've already got it. Now I'm going to create a reservation for that one, for that client. Okay. Click on Super Scope up here. Right click, I believe. It's a bit tricky. It's a bit confusing, this one, because I'm not sure which scope it wants us to. We should put this in, but let's go to reservations. Right, I'm going to put it into the IT scope. It's a bit tricky, but we'll call it. We'll give it a SWin client 101, and we will give it an IP address of any IP address, I guess. .155, doesn't really matter. That's the MAC address. Oops. Yeah, sorry about this. The description of the activity wasn't that clear. For those who have the lab, I do this live. I'm not editing this this video, so it's raw and live. Okay, good. Description, special project machine. I'm going to click on add. So that's this. So we've created a reservation. Then we add that reservation to the special project class that we've created. So we right click the new reservation, that one there, right click, select properties, and it's not there, is it? So reservations, right click, properties. Okay, we'll have to investigate this further. Sorry about this, the description is terrible, so we'll have to go through this properly. All right, looks like we need to manually set the predefined options. I'm sorry about this confusion. If you can't do this, it's okay. You can move on to the next task, next subject. But I'm going to see if we can fix this. So basically, I'm trying to set the predefined options here, which is not working. So what I'm doing instead is I'm going to go to right-click IP version 4. I'm going to set the predefined options myself. Okay. Then I'm going to click on, should be okay there. Option, we'll click on add. I'm going to add one, and I'm going to set my own default options here. No real need to come in here, to be honest, but you can if you want to. Okay, so I'm just making my own. Oh, so it's already in use. Okay, that's good. So it's there, perfect. They're already there, so okay, that's good. So now all we need to do is assign. So we'll go to scope options. So we click on right click, and that should be okay. Right, properties, advanced, still not there. Okay, sorry. Scope options. We'll go to more actions over here. Configure options, advanced. Okay. I think we're running into a brick wall here. Okay, it looks like we need to go back into this a bit. So if we go back to the DNS domain name here, I think we should be changing that. I believe that's what this lab is asking of us to do. It's not very clear, so all right, fine. So we've done that. Yeah, no, you know what? Still, this is a really terrible written lab. I'm gonna try and fix this one more time. Yeah, it looks like these options are just not available in the GUI, so I'm gonna try this in PowerShell. It's really weird. Couldn't find it in. So I'm gonna do this in PowerShell. See if we can actually get this working, because I just can't seem to find the options anywhere. It's really strange. I'm gonna do an ISE so we can view this bit by bit. I've got copied and pasted this. If it doesn't work, don't worry about it too much. Rarely going to use this in the future. So, okay, so there should be one more. So add DHCP, add the server class, set the options. Okay, I think I've missed one. Option 15, yep. All right, let's run this one by one. Oops, I ran the whole lot. Yeah. Let's run it one by one again. Yeah, there's no such class as this one. Okay, you know what? This is too messy. It's really poorly written lab. I do apologize for those watching this for students. Maybe we'll try and figure out a new way of doing this lab a little bit later on. But if you're encountering these issues, just move on to the next class. Okay. But anyway, thank you for watching. I'll see you all soon.